whatever I have tried to ever do in my life, I've done it with one simple motive, which is to keep people, planet, and prosperity. So everything, every business that we've ever built have always had these three lines that keep people first, then the planet, and then prosperity. And why we have always believed that there needs to be also prosperity so that it can be self-sustaining. If it is only about being done by grants, or if it is only about being done by charity, then it's not sustainable in nature, that someday those will get dried up, and then how do we sustain it? So every time I thought about doing an impact on climate change, we thought that how do we make it extremely profitable? My father was in the Indian Army, so come from a middle-class background, got educated as a petroleum engineer. And while I was studying petroleum engineering, realized all the ill impacts that petroleum creates, and decided that I will do 100% opposite to what I was being taught. And I got placed with British Gas, and did not join them, but came straight to form my first company, which was into setting up solar energy. And this is long time back. This is 2007. In 2007, when solar power plants were some 20 crore rupees a megawatt, cost of producing solar energy was, I think ISRO might be the only company which was using solar at that time, and a few. So we tried to start setting up solar power plants at that time. And it took a lot of convincing, a lot of efforts for us to go and, even if we were able to sell 5 kilowatt of solar in a month, we used to feel extremely happy. But what we always believed was something known as Moore's Law, and Moore's Law does not apply actually to, applies to transistors and the IT chips, but we kind of applied it to silicon also, which is used in producing solar cells. And we said that every year we will also see solar efficiency doubling and cost halving. We bet on the Moore's Law and the fact that Moore's Law will also get applied to solar. And we saw that it actually happened from about 20 crores a megawatt that was per megawatt that solar was costing up till about 2012. Today, in about a decade from there, we are at about 3 crores or 3.5 crores a megawatt. So the prices have crashed 85-90%. I think Balki put it up on the slide too. What was solar energy was 17-18 rupees a kilowatt, is today 3 rupees a kilowatt hour. So there's a lot of path with this industry actually traversed. But what was more interesting was that because we kept the three motives of people, planet, and prosperity with us, we were always able to kind of do things which we wanted to do. So whether it was setting up solar in the remotest parts of the country so that people who did not have electricity could get solar and get some light in them. So we've set up numerous villages, numerous forest areas where we set up solar. Two, because this was solar and it was green, it cared about the environment. And three, at the end of the day, it also did make money for us. Ultimately, it was a pretty decent venture. We were able to list ourselves on the stock exchange in 2019, and from there it was a great journey because the stock became 30x, and all because we were all in the solar industry, which became the most talked about industry in the last 3, 4, 5 years. So it pays to be environment friendly has always been my motto, and then it led to us as a family coming into the second venture, second most important, like a bunch of renewable energy businesses that we have, and then we came to a bunch of electric mobility inspired businesses. And again, we thought that we were thinking always about carbon dioxide, but more important than carbon dioxide, we were thinking about something known as PM 2.5 and PM 5. If you understand the health, carbon dioxide is extremely bad. Carbon dioxide is bad because it creates global warming, and when it creates global warming over a few decades and maybe a century, we will see a huge impact about it. But what PM 2.5 and PM 5 does is that it impacts us right now, right here. Like our previous speaker talked about CO2 ppm in his presentation, AQI, which is very widely measured, which is basically an index of PM 2.5 and PM 5, that's what is spoiling the health of the citizens of our country and many other places in the world. What electric mobility does is that, of course, it reduces carbon dioxide, and depending on where the energy is coming from, whether it's 100% renewable powered or it's coal-fired, but it does reduce carbon dioxide, but what it does is that it takes particulate matter emissions to zero, like absolute zero. There was G20 a few weeks back. AQI in Delhi went to 40 from average of 400, 500. Why? Because the government had said that there's a public holiday, no more vehicles on the road. There was COVID, AQI in Delhi was 10. That's the impact that vehicles are causing onto us. There's a study that we are doing, and it's only prelim, and I cannot share more results because it's still research which is on. 40% of all diseases in cities today are pulmonary related, which are also, and especially in Delhi from where I come, is all pulmonary related. A lot of pulmonary. So we're actually doing a study with Delhi government which kinds of says that if all vehicles were to move to electric, will it help to save 30% of the health budget of the government of Delhi? Because government of Delhi has to spend a lot more on medicines, etc., etc. So that's the impact that I had not thought that we will be able to connect between electric mobility and health of people. There was always this entire thought about that we are trying to solve for carbon dioxide. What we realized is carbon dioxide is important and we need to work over there, but what is more important and what is impacting health of people right now, every moment of time, is the fact that PM 2.5 and PM5 needs to go to zero. So that's what we did. And in there, again, we wanted to do people, planet, and prosperity. So we started a ride-hailing company. It's also operating in Bangalore. We operate a lot of electric cars and prove to the world also the fact that while there are Teslas of the world which are great in manufacturing of cars, as a single platform which has thousands and thousands of cars running on one single platform, thousands of electric cars which are running, India leads the race. In fact, Delhi NCR is the place where largest number of electric cars in the country, in the world, run on one single platform. So we were able to prove it to the world, and now there are a lot of replicas which have started to come in. But all for a good cause, which is people, planet, and prosperity. And I can only say that while our whole objective was to focus on people and planet, but doing things the right way, doing things the logical way, doing things the entrepreneur way, also did create a lot of prosperity for not just us, our investors, our colleagues, etc., which also meant that, in a way, the world also became a slightly more better place. So I've always believed in this particular motive, and God has been kind. I don't know how many more ventures we would do, but all ventures that we would do will always come with the motive of people, planet, and prosperity. And thank you, Balki. Thank you for calling us. You've been a great friend. Thank you.